Hello and welcome to QU All Access. I'm Courtney Gear.
And I'm Ryan Snyder, and this week shows some big changes within the QU bookstore that will directly benefit students.
And we'll have an update on the recent Metrojet crash in Egypt. Topping our news this week, Illinois students receiving MAP grants were shocked to find out these grants may not actually be available for current and future semesters. On Monday, Quincy University held a town hall meeting to tackle the MAP grant issue facing college students all over the state. A MAP grant is given to residents of Illinois and can provide students with over $10,000 per year towards their education. However, as we have mentioned in previous QU All Access updates, Illinois still has not decided on a budget for the fiscal year. This means that students who were promised MAP grant funding in the beginning of the year will not receive the promised funding, and also they might have to pay back that funding to the university. At the town hall meeting, Dr. Gervasi, Tiffany Nolan, and members of the business and financial aid offices discussed the predicament to faculty and students. They explained the situation and answered questions about the issue. It is very important for students to understand what is happening, and those running the meeting presented options for those students. A petition and letter were available for students to sign and have been sent to the students' hometown senators. Next, students should set up an appointment to meet with the business and financial aid offices to discuss their individual plans. Finally, students are invited to participate in a rally this Tuesday in Springfield, Illinois, to meet with Illinois representatives. More information and sign up are available in the Student Affairs office. And the deadline to sign up is today, so if you are interested, make sure to stop by ASAP. Director of Financial Aid, Lisa Fleck, encourages students to set up a meeting to make sure students are aware of their finances.
We just encourage students to be proactive, to sign the letters, to talk to their parents, and to encourage the state. Let them know how important that state grants are to students.
Many students are upset and frightened by the news, saying their education depends on the financial aid they were promised.
I was pretty upset about it because it affects me a lot because I'm at school through scholarships and loans and I can't really pay out of pocket. So.
I'm upset with the state because that's money that they give to us and that we don't have to pay it back, and it feels like that they're not coming up on their promises.
Reporting for QU All Access, I'm Courtney Gear. The full video of the town hall meeting is available on the Quincy University website and on our Facebook page on QU TV.
With the uncertainty of the MAP grant funds will arrive, students are left wondering what to do. We talked to the financial aid office and learned about the option for QU students waiting for MAP grant funding. In order to ensure that students are prepared for the lack of funding, the financial aid office is offering student payment plans to the university. Students will pay on a month-by-month basis to cover the lack of grant funds. Students are also encouraged to take out student loans to cover the costs if necessary. The university expects to hear if the grants will be passed in March, but students are encouraged to start payment plans sooner if the grants do not come through. The money the students have already paid will be automatically reimbursed.
You may have noticed that a popular event on campus has yet to happen this semester. QU All Access did some digging, and don't worry, there's no need to fear.
The reason that we haven't gone to Scotty's yet this semester is there was a lot of events planned earlier in the semester, and we just couldn't have everything happening at the same time. And so the Scotty's event worked better in December than it would have in October or September.
High book prices.
Sutter says they are planning the trip to Scotty's as a way to cap off the semester. Future plans also include the annual ski trip and a trip to St. Louis for a baseball game.
Exorbitant book costs have long been a problem on college campuses. QU All Access has the info on a new program at the QU bookstore that could save students more money than ever before. High book prices won't be a problem anymore for QU students. The QU bookstore has started a price match program that will ensure that students will now receive the best price for buying books. For students that shop online for cheaper textbooks on websites such as Amazon and Chegg, this program will eliminate having to wait for books to be delivered, as well as having to pay for any extra shipping costs that would be included. Now students can provide valid proof of a lower price online at the bookstore. Students are required to pay the originally listed price from the bookstore, and after the purchase is completed, the students will be refunded the difference between the QU price and the lowest listed price. The refund will be given via a store credit, which can be used to purchase anything in the store, including gift cards and prepaid Visa cards. For example, if a book is listed in the bookstore for $100 and a student finds it online for $50, the student will pay the originally listed $100 and then immediately be refunded $50 of in-store credit. Students seem to be pretty pleased with this program that was just released November 1st.
Being a sophomore, I got 2 more years here, so hopefully I can take it to my advantage. I understand that they're taking the money you pay for that and giving it back to you so you can use it for other stuff, store credit, or put it on a Visa card, which is also very helpful. I hope, or I can see many students using it that way.
You know, it's really nice that now we can go down to the bookstore and show them a price that's better than ours and be able like, you know, can you help me out with this because I'm spending this much money to help you out with it. It saves me a lot of money that I can put towards, you know, other academic aspects or maybe even helping me pay for tuition. So it's really nice. I'm glad they're doing it.
3 weeks ago, QU All Access told you about the new EdTPA program that became a requirement for education majors in order to earn their teaching license. We recently learned that all 5 Quincy-based student teachers successfully passed their portfolio assignments. The Education Department says they are excited with their 100% success rate. The entire QU All Access News team sends our congratulations to those students. Coming up, we'll take a look at an app that can keep you connected
And review how the political candidates are doing in the most recent polls. We'll be right back.
The future of the program is very bright. It's an exciting time on QU campus because we have QU TV. We have a television station where students can experience working as a director, an anchor, a reporter, photographer, doing weather, doing sports. We also have a newspaper where students can report, be photo editors, be executive editors. We've got a lot of opportunity there working on the student newspaper. We also provide students with the opportunity to do magazine articles with heavy research and giving them a little bit more time to expand on articles and do some in-depth investigative work. You know, moving forward, it's exciting because all of the skills they learn in every avenue will translate into what we have in the future, and web writing and mobile writing and all of our distribution platforms. We have an incredible opportunity to grow the department, to grow the program, and to grow students into excellent journalists.
Welcome back. A grim development in the investigation into the crash of a Russian airliner Saturday has been reported. Russian state media reports that the remains of 58 of the victims on Metrojet Flight 9268 have been identified. This comes as new evidence suggests the tragedy may have been an act of terrorism. CNN's Reed Binion reports.
This would be the biggest terrorist attack since 9/11.
CNN terrorism analyst Paul Cruikshank laying bare the gravity of new suspicions that ISIS may have caused the crash of a Russian jetliner Saturday. U.S. officials pointing to ISIS chatter in the Sinai Peninsula after the crash as indication of the terror group's possible involvement. Further intelligence suggests that someone at the Sharm el-Sheikh airport may have helped get a bomb onto the plane.
Somebody that is, or some people that are familiar with how the baggage process works.
As investigators analyze the flight data recorder and look for conclusive evidence of an explosive device, some clues are already available. The tail section apparently sheared off in mid-flight. Metal fragments found in the bodies of passengers near the rear of the plane. As for detonation, one possibility is that it was triggered by a barometric pressure switch set to go off at a specific altitude. Those devices frighteningly hard to detect, according to former CIA operative Bob Baer.
They wouldn't be identifiable. I mean, you could hide it, they're very small, you could hide it in an iPhone, and you could hide a plastic detonator in the iPhone as well.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
As more information slowly becomes apparent about the crash, news outlets are learning more about what happened in the final moments of the Metrojet crash in Egypt Saturday. But each new piece of information is a painful detail for families and friends of those who have lost their lives. CNN's Nick Robertson spoke to one man who is heartbroken to have lost his best friend.
Happier times. Leonard in the blue hat, Victor in the red. Holidays together with their girlfriends. They were close. Leonard, best man at Victor's wedding. Always sharing good times together. But last week was different. Leonard took his girlfriend Alexandra alone on a special trip to Egypt.
One day before this tragedy, I was chatting with him on a social page, and I asked him how it's going, how's everything, and he told me that he is going to tell me everything when he will come here.
But his best friend never came back. He died as Metrojet Flight 9268 ploughed into the Egyptian desert.
For sure, the worst day in my life. He was a very kind person. I'm sure that you couldn't find a person who can tell something bad about him.
The website he's created for his friend has had tens of thousands of hits. It's a comfort, but there's more pain to come. Help Leonard's father identify his son's body.
I can imagine what's going to be there. I know that there's going to be not the whole bodies, you know, it's going to be some fragments.
This happy photo on the Egyptian beach is how he'll remember his best friend.
The last days of their lives was like very calm, and at least it's a good thing.
And what was it Leonard was going to tell him?
I think he did have something to tell me, so I think it was about engaged. They wanted to tell us not in, you know, like not in chatting, just in real life.
But it's something we'll never know. In their last picture, Leonard and Alex, engagement rings, coyly out of shot. Nick Robertson, CNN, St. Petersburg, Russia.
If this is the first time you are learning news about the Metrojet crash, Facebook may have a solution for receiving breaking news. Facebook is launching a new app that alerts users to breaking news called Notify. Facebook is partnering with news organizations such as CNN, Mashable, The Washington Post, and CBS to introduce the app next week. Notify works by allowing users to sign up for notifications from individual news outlets without having to install other apps. The notifications will then direct users back to the sites of the participating publishers. Notify will be a standalone app.
Numbers continue to change in presidential politics. New polls show a surge for Ben Carson and suggest he might stand the best chance of beating Hillary Clinton in a national contest. Stacey Cohan has the story.
It's official. Donald Trump trekked to New Hampshire Wednesday to get his name on the ballot there. The visibility may be good for his campaign. A new Quinnipiac University national poll shows Trump and Ben Carson in a statistical dead heat.
We have to take our jobs back from China, Japan, Mexico, all these places that have them. And Ben Carson is not equipped to do that. That I can tell you.
Here's the breakdown. Trump gets 24% to Carson's 23%. Marco Rubio is gaining with 14% support, followed by Texas Senator Ted Cruz. Among Democrats, Hillary Clinton is the clear leader with 53%, compared to Bernie Sanders at 35%. But the poll shows Clinton losing a national contest with Carson. Numbers from a survey done by NPR affiliate WBUR in Boston tell a similar story. Trump and Carson are neck and neck, with Marco Rubio catching up quickly. Chris Christie and John Kasich also gained ground in this poll. But Democratic strategist Paul Begala doesn't think Trump is done.
Well, as Carson has risen, Trump has not fallen. I find that remarkable. It is a testament to Mr. Trump's strength.
But there are many months to go before the ballots are actually cast and counted. I'm Stacey Cohan reporting.
From political debates to school debates, a first-grade student is serving a 3-day suspension for pretending to shoot another student at recess with a pretend bow and arrow. The parents of the first graders say they simply do not understand the punishment. They say that the principal made a bad decision and they want to prevent any student from going through the same thing.
According to the boys' parents, their 6-year-old son was playing Power Rangers at recess last Thursday when he pretended to shoot someone with a bow and arrow.
He says, yes, I was shooting at them like I had my bow and arrow, just drawing it and making a sound effect. Choo, choo, choo.
Matthew and Martha Mealy say the principals suspended their son for the next 3 days. Friday, the principal sent a letter home to parents stating, "I have no tolerance for any real, pretend, or imitated violence. The punishment is an out-of-school suspension."
I can't stop him from having an imagination, and I'm not going to stop him from having an imagination. Children are supposed to pretend.
The Mealys say they spoke with the principal in person on Friday, but he would not change his decision. They also questioned the length of the suspension, saying it is unreasonable.
I would imagine a 3-day suspension would be an act of physical violence towards another person. A threat of real physical violence towards another person, not imagined.
Page 18 of the Archdiocese Educational Policy Manual states, in cases where a student is suspended, these procedures must be followed. Written notification is to be sent to the parents and student indicating the reason for suspension.
Coming up, we'll take a look into next week's weather forecast.
And why November is such a special month for the Quincy University community. Stay with us.
Yes. Growing up, I had one deaf friend, and that was the only deaf person I knew before coming to school here at QU. And now I regularly get to hang out and socialize with the deaf community, which has been awesome. Sign language isn't exactly like learning another spoken language because you use your body, facial expressions, your hands are your instruments. So it is definitely learning a new language. It has its own grammar and syntax and everything. It's not exactly like English like a lot of people think it is.
It isn't a building. It isn't an arena or field. It isn't a classroom. It's a friendship. It's the bonds you form. It's an opportunity. It's the experience. It's a Q thing. Schedule your visit today.
Welcome back. Daylight savings time doesn't seem to be the only thing changing this November.
That's true, Courtney. Temperatures are beginning to drop as the winter season gets closer every day. Lainey Day has more on the extended forecast. Lainey?
Yes, well, I hope everybody didn't get too comfortable with the temperatures last week because this week there's going to be a dramatic change. On Friday, it's going to be nice, bright, and sunny, but our high is only going to reach 58. A little cooler than last weekend. Then moving into Saturday, again, the sun is out. However, we do drop a little bit in temperature as our high only reaches 56. Then wrapping up our weekend on Sunday, it looks like a repeat. Again, the sun's going to be out, but the high is only going to reach 56. And honestly, if you're looking for a warm-up this week, you're not going to get it because looking farther into the week, again, now we have the clouds coming in on Monday. The high is still going to remain at the 56, as we've seen the past few days. Then we go to Tuesday. Grab that umbrella on your way out because we have a chance of possible storms rolling into the area. We are going to warm up, though, to 62. Then on Wednesday, definitely have that umbrella handy once again because now it looks like it's going to be a little more severe with thunderstorms, and the high is going to be 61. Wrapping up our week on Thursday, partly cloudy with a high near 57. The temperatures were nice last week, and while it is November, we should be getting used to these mid-50s to low 60s as we move farther into the month. So I hope you enjoyed your warm weather, and maybe we'll get lucky and see it again, but as far as it looks now, doesn't look like there's much of a chance. That about wraps it up for this weekly forecast. I'm Lainey Wade. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Lainey. November is Homeless Awareness Month, and Quincy University's Multicultural Department is hosting several events to make students aware. QU All Access sat down with Alexandria Gurley to find out why it's important for students not only to be aware, but to also get involved.
Hunger Homeless Awareness is an effort to get students to become more involved, to become more aware, and more engaged in the importance of the homeless population here in Quincy and the greater Illinois community. The hope is to have students to learn something, to take something away from the week's events. We are going to be doing different activities or programs during the week, every night. One of our big events that we're highlighting is a panel discussion entitled Am I My Brother's Keeper, kind of highlighting a certain level of social responsibility that we as individuals have to the homeless population, and some of our community organizations are going to be involved in the panel discussion, from Quinata Catholic Charities, Horizon Social Services, and Madonna House. As well, we're going to be doing a film screening of Homeless to Harvard, the Liz Murray story, based off this true story for a girl named Liz Murray, who was homeless around the age of 15 and triumphed against those odds and graduated high school and went on to Harvard University. So we have a lot of events going on, and we'd really encourage you to become more aware and to become more involved on campus in general.
A full list of events and dates are located on the Quincy University webpage. If you're wanting to get involved, check out the flyers around campus and attend the events. Coming up, we'll take a look at the recent sports highlights.
And how one Christmas present may be causing problems. We'll be right back.
QUTV is more than a news outlet.
1 in 5 undergrads work at least 35 hours a week, year-round.
Students involved with QUTV learn life lessons, create lasting memories, and gain the experience needed to succeed in future careers.
Students need to be involved with QUTV as a viewer or as a participant because we need to know what's going on around our campus.
Knowledge is powerful, and QUTV News serves to inform not only the students, but the Quincy University community as a reliable and powerful news network.
Welcome back. It was a busy week for the Hawks sports as football team got some national coverage.
And the GLVC conference tournament began for both the men's and women's soccer team. Andrew McCulloch has more. Andrew?
It has been a disappointing year for Coach Tom Padgeck's football team this season. The Hawks came into their nationally televised home game versus conference rival Truman State with just a 2-5 record. Could Nick Lonergan bounce back from a poor performance last week against Ohio Dominican, or would the Bulldogs defense bulldoze their way through the senior quarterback? We've got the action from QU Stadium here. It's going to open up with a play-action pass from Nick Lonergan. He's going to find his tight end Owen Schonenberger down the field for a gain of 23 yards. Lonergan, cooler than the other side of the pillow, back in the pocket as he finds Eric Poindexter for a 31-yard touchdown pass. And Poindexter not done. He's going to make the catch here and get the first down off of the slant. Let's get the defense involved here. It's Truman's Randy Schroeder throwing this one, but it gets picked off by Hawks defensive back Shane Barrett. Hawks taking this one down towards the 25-yard line, and it's going to be Darius Burse putting the icing on the cake with the 5-yard touchdown run. The Hawks outscoring Truman State 17-0 in the fourth quarter and winning by a final score of 23-19. They advance now to 3-5 on the season. Truman State 4-5. Nick Lonergan 23 for 39, 289 yards, 2 touchdowns. Eric Poindexter, great game, 9 catches, 111 yards, and 1 touchdown. Postseason play is finally here for both men and women's soccer. The women came into the GLVC tournament as a 3 seed, and they would play host to a Lewis team they took down 4-2 earlier this season. With the win, Coach Musso's team could almost virtually guarantee themselves a spot in the NCAA tournament. With the pressure on the Lady Hawks, would they be able to defend their home turf, or would the Flyers jet out of Legend Stadium with the shocking win? Let's find out as we head to the field. Going to open up here, Coach Musso giving his players some support. How about a couple high fives for you and you? It's going to open up with the defense, though. The Lady Hawks able to get the ball out of the zone there. If they're going to clear it, now it would open up chances for them, as you'll see here. A good strike. However, it's going to be the Flyers goalkeeper that makes the save. As I said, though, that would open up things to come as it's freshman Abby Pulliam on the breakaway, deflected off the goalkeeper, but it still finds the back of the net. The freshman, 2 goals in this game. She's a big provider for this team's offense. Lady Hawks not done. It's going to be Haley Nernberger on this next play, sidestepping a defender, crossing it into Gabby Herrick, who connects and finds the back of the net. Her and Nernberger going to share an embrace here as the Lady Hawks nothing but love here in this one as they win by a final of 4-0, 13-3 on the season. Lewis 10-7-2 as they end their year. Abby Pulliam 2 goals, 11 on the season. Mackenzie Reef also adding her 4th as well. The men's soccer team would have a little more on their plate as they hosted Bellarmine in the GLVC quarterfinal. Quincy lost to Bellarmine on the road earlier this season, 4-1. Coach Carpenter would need his team to be at their best for this one because only the top 6 in the NCAA regional rankings qualify for the NCAA tournament. With the Hawks ranked 5th coming into this game, could they take care of business in that must-win game? We're going to go to Legend Stadium to find this one out for you. It's going to open up the Hawks taking the field looking for revenge here on their home turf. Play's going to open up with Taylor Reese on the breakaway, not going to get the goal there. And you see he goes down awkwardly. He had to leave this game with a devastating ankle injury. It's going to be Jordan Stevens on this next play. He's going to find Eddie Plesha. His foot finds the ball, and it finds the back of the net. Pete Condell more excited than Plesha even for that goal as the Hawks take an early 1-0 lead. Bellarmine on the next play. They're going to turn the ball over here. Hawks gain possession. They're going to move down the field quickly. Here comes Pete Condell. He's going to turn with the ball. A couple of dribbles. He's going to find Kyle Frazier, who's going to get past the side tackler and get past the goalkeeper. 2-0 Hawks for Frazier and the Hawks there as he's actually going to embrace with Plesha there. And Plesha, he wouldn't be done himself. He's going to have an amazing play coming up here as you see the dejection on Truman, or not on Truman, but Bellarmine. Plesha going to beat 4 defenders here. Crisscross applesauce. He's going to find his way into the back of the net. Hawks win this game by a final of 3-1, advancing to 12-5-1 on the season. Bellarmine just 10-9. Plesha, those 2 goals, the freshman with 3 on the season. Pete Condell, 2 assists to exit that game. That's going to do it for sports this week, but if you can't wait until next week for next week's Hawks, for Hawks and Lady Hawks action, excuse me, remember to tune in to the Hawks Sports Radio broadcast every week, which is available on the QU TV Facebook page.
Thanks, Andrew. We'll be right back.
Well, my first thought was, Brother Ed has set us up. He's got someone hiding in there. They're getting ready to jump out of the curtain and scare us, but yeah, there was no one else there, and I couldn't explain it. It's just one of those phenomena.
I've always been a skeptic, and I've always thought that there was a rational explanation for all things like that, but being there when that all happened, we didn't have a rational explanation for why that happened.
There was. Did you hear it?
Oh my God.
Oh gosh, wait, did you see that?
It's not too early to start making a wish list for the holidays. One hot gift many techies want, a drone. But as Mary Maloney reports in today's Consumer Watch, the popular present may cause problems.
Flying high in the air, one of the predicted popular presents, drones. The Consumer Electronics Association estimates more than 500,000 drones will be sold this holiday season. But drones could pose a danger. The FAA says it gets about 100 reports a month from pilots who see drones flying near planes or airports. So far, no one has been hurt, but the government isn't taking any chances. The FAA and Department of Transportation have a new task force working on developing a registration system for drones. Industry experts say the government most likely will not interfere with drones given as gifts. Small drones weighing only a couple of pounds already can't fly too high and aren't considered as potentially damaging as some of the heavier aircraft. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
It may seem a little early to talk about Christmas gifts, but stores across the country are already setting up and selling Christmas decorations. Do you guys agree with starting the Christmas season this early?
Well, considering that I do work in retail, I've already started to see this since September. And I honestly am almost already tired of Christmas. I know it hasn't quite got here yet, but let the turkey have his day when it comes.
Yeah, I agree. My neighbor already put up his Christmas lights this week. I don't think my family's going to do that for the next couple of weeks, so a little early, but people love Christmas. What can I say?
Well, I'm a big Thanksgiving fan, so I agree with Lainey. You know, you got to give Thanksgiving its due diligence, and Christmas has got all of December, so we're still in November. We got plenty of time.
I think I'm the only one that disagrees here because I am a Christmas fan, and I think that Thanksgiving kind of falls into the holiday season. So I'm all set for Christmas season coming up here, but we'll see how that goes. Thank you all for joining us in this week's QUTV All Access episode. Remember to tune in online, on Facebook, or on Channel 97 on campus for more news anytime. For the entire All Access team, I'm Courtney Gear.
And I'm Ryan Snyder. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week, Hawks.